How do you tell your family that you're becoming a dancer?
Utah's known for being a very polite place, but we're also per capita one of the most medicated states for mental illness. I need to know every devious sexual thought you've ever had in detail.
Is your ex-husband so Mormon?
Yeah, and my daughter's Mormon.
How do you feel about that?
I believe that it's a cult. I don't know how to live with this kind of inner turmoil.
How'd it go out there?
Not too shabby.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm ready whenever you're ready. Take one with Jinx. We got 15 minutes until you're back out there.
Yep.
How long have you been dancing for?
Off and on for 13 years.
Oh my gosh, you look so young. Everyone looks so young here. I'm like, oh my gosh, so did Molly. I was like, damn. How did you find yourself starting to dance?
I actually started when I was, I think, a sophomore in college. I didn't get help from my parents for school and stuff, so I was supporting myself. So I was talking to a girl in my gender studies class about it, and she was like, you could strip, and I was like, what? She was like, yeah, I work at this club, it's not for everybody, it might not be for you, but I'll kind of show you the ropes. And I only work 2 nights a week, and I pay my way through school. And this was back when I first started, dancing was way better money.
Why is that?
I think with the rise of camming and OnlyFans and the pandemic, people just weren't going out and spending money as much when they could kind of get the same experience at home. I do better in person. I was able to do OnlyFans for a while, but I do better in person, which sucks because I feel since I started dancing, it's just been a slow decline. The amount of work it takes to make $500 online is so much more to me than the amount it takes to make $500 in person.
When you were married, did you have a job at that time?
I stayed home with my daughter for 4 years, but before that I worked for the school district and I was planning to be a teacher.
But this new money, this fast money must have been amazing.
It was life-changing.
Especially with the daughter.
Yeah, I had been in a really dark place, a really bad mental health place, and was really struggling, and it pulled me out immediately. Not that it doesn't have its own set of toxic or mental health issues in the industry, but for me, it pulled me out of a really, really dark place.
You bring up toxic things in the work environment. What kind of situations do you feel in the strip club arena can be toxic?
I think being a performer can be a mindfuck, especially when there's a lot of pressure on how you look or your physical appearance. The money, I think, can be hard because sometimes you make a lot of money and sometimes you don't make any, and so that's hard mentally. As a woman in any work situation, there's potential for predators, and I think even more so in sex work. You've got to have really good boundaries and have really good instincts about who you engage with, and even then you might know someone for years and then they act out of nowhere.
Have you ever found yourself in the many years of stripping in danger or anything like that?
Yeah, definitely. I've been stalked. I've had customers let air out of my tires.
What do you mean? So that you can't leave?
And I think he wanted it to be a slow leak so that I would leave and then he would be able to follow me and I would pull over. But I mean, luckily we always get walked out by security, and security noticed it and I noticed it. It was really obvious. And he was like, go back inside. I'm going to change it and take care of it. Don't worry about it. And then I saw the customer on the other, in his truck, obviously sitting there. I'm like, you need to tell that dude to leave. And even then when I left, I checked in with the bouncer at the time, hey, I got home safe. And I did a roundabout way of going home too, because I lived pretty close to the club. The bouncer can't watch everything that's happening all the time. You've got to acquire skills and tools to be able to handle situations yourself sometimes.
So you said here you don't do lap dances?
So in Utah, if you serve alcohol, you can't have nudity or lap dances. At a club like mine that serves alcohol, if you try to touch a dancer, she'll get kind of really weird. We might jump or something like that, but it's because we would be the one to get cited if it looks like we let you touch us. And we would get soliciting prostitution charges. And then potentially, if it went through, we could be a registered sex offender. So
wait, that seems so not fair.
It's insanely not fair.
Okay, so if you go up to a guy and you're dancing and he touches you and they catch him, you are the one to get in trouble because it looks like you're trying to solicit something.
If the undercover cops, because they can come in undercover and they can drink and stuff, and they're the ones trying to touch you, right? So if it looks like you let them, you didn't move away or you didn't tell them, hey, you can't touch me or something, and they're recording, they're, undercover recording, then yeah, you can get charged.
So you said when you first started, you were wearing your garter belts, or what are those called again? The Mormon
garments?
Yeah.
People would always ask me, will you or would you wear your garments at work? And I'm like, no. I even won't. Went on a podcast where part of their cathartic experience was to tell their secret temple name, and because you get a secret name in the temple, and I couldn't Like, I still feel the conditioning all the time.
Do you still feel internalized like trauma from being a Mormon?
Absolutely, yeah. I don't think most people who've been raised in oppressive religions can go the rest of their life without like feeling that and carrying that. I feel like I grew up in a cult. Like, I feel like that's the type of trauma that it is to grow up like that.
Was that because of you?
Yes, she's one of my, closest friends, and she just kind of saw the success I'd been having, and she was like, I want to do that. And I was like, cool, I can teach you to do that. And then my niece is also a stripper, and
Are your parents like great? Like Emily joined stripping, and now every one of my family's becoming a stripper.
they never talk about it. If you're pretending like I don't have a job, and I haven't had a job all these years, you can't like get mad at me about this job that I got other people into.
Yeah.
You can't acknowledge any of that. So if they do feel any type of way, they've never said anything to me about it. If it became a thing where like they got into it and then their life just like imploded, I think maybe then someone would say something to me. But I would say for both, like their life improved, their mental health improved, their ability to earn improved and to provide for themselves and their families improved. So I just think it was like, what are you going to say?
When you first started dancing, what was your first impression?
Walking into a dressing room and all these women are just butt-ass naked, having full-on conversations, so confident, so sure of themselves. And sometimes, like, watching them on stage, I was like, God, she is, like, incredible. Like, I am not that confident yet. Like, I want to get to that point where I feel like I own that stage and all eyes are on me and I am so good at my job.
How is it being a new girl? Is it, like, do the girls welcome you in, or does it take some time, or how does that work?
And most clubs out of state, I think, they get more traveling dancers. So it's like, I'm not going to make friends with you. I'm not going to be very nice to you because I probably won't see you again. But in Utah, it's not very kind to traveling dancers. Like, you can't really travel dance here because of the licensing process. It's such a small community that I feel like most clubs that I've worked at in Salt Lake, girls are pretty nice and will take you under their wing because they know that, like, I might be working with you for years at the same club and you might be sitting with a customer who has a lot of money. Like, it doesn't make business sense for me to be mean to people for no reason if they have an opportunity to give me money later.
You said you have regulars that come in here for you. Mm-hmm. So if a new girl came in and was talking to your regular, how do you handle that?
Putting something on your plate is not going to take anything off of my plate. And I feel like when I first started, I worked at an 18 and up club, and a lot of the girls were fresh out of high school, and they were a lot more like territorial, like, don't fucking talk to him. That's my regular. He came in to see me. This is supposed to be like an escape from like the drama of like their jobs, their wives, all of that stuff. And it behooves everyone if we at least maintain the illusion that we all get along and like each other.
Do you feel like the world of dancing and escorting kind of collide?
I think so. Every single club I've ever worked at, there's going to be someone who does more than I am comfortable doing for less money, and you just have to figure out how to hustle your way into like surviving.
But escorting is not happening at strip clubs, right?
I mean, some clubs, yeah. I think it depends on the club. I mean, on the one hand, it's very illegal and you can get in big trouble. You can get your dancer license revoked, but I mean, I don't look down on or judge anybody who has to do what they have to do to make a living,
So you're about to go on stage right now, right?
2 minutes.
So you do 15 minutes on, 15 minutes off, 15 minutes on?
During the day, yeah.
Do you still have to go on there if there's nobody in the club? Like if you're working the day shift and there's literally nobody there?
No. If there's not a single soul in here, then no.
Because like, why are you going to do it if nobody... Yeah, ghosts aren't going to tip you.
I'll still go up there and kind of mess around in case someone walks in, so I'm already up there, but if there's no one in here, then we don't have to go up.
My series is all about queer people, or not necessarily queer people, but just me exploring different communities and seeing what the queer culture is like there. Mm-hmm. Do you call yourself straight, or?
Nope, I have a girlfriend. Look at my nails.
Oh my gosh, wait. I was like, what do you mean? Oh, because they're short? That's how you know I'm gay, because I was like, wait, what do you mean? Short. Is she a dancer too?
She's a server and bartender.
And how does she feel about you dancing?
She likes it. I mean, she's come in here before. It was her first time coming into a strip club. I've dated a lot of men who are very unsupportive and insecure and judgmental, and she is very supportive and not insecure about my job. Like, she knows that it's work, like this is what I do. I think my kink is taking money from like old men and then spending it on my younger girlfriend.
Are you straight, or how do you call yourself?
I am queer, I believe. I've dated 2 women. I typically date men, but I've dated a couple women.
I love that. I feel like a lot of people are realizing, like, maybe they don't know, like my sister, she's like, I don't know what I call myself, but I definitely am queer. She's not like, I'm not bi, but like, I definitely am attracted to women and men.
Yeah, that was a super interesting realization. You know, growing up Mormon, of course, they're very anti-gay. And so it wasn't even something I like knew I could be until like later. And then it was funny to like look back at my life and like realize all the crushes that I had, you know, and like not knowing what that was. I was like, what was that? And then it was like, oh, you had crushes on women and you didn't realize that because you were taught to be, you know, straight. So yeah, that was actually a really fun part of my journey in becoming a dancer and leaving the church, was being able to explore that.
Do you have to go on? Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much. Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you.
What is your favorite thing about being a dancer?
The performance aspect, because if that's in you and you're not having an outlet for it, it like hurts. And then the freedom it allows me to live the kind of life that I want to live.
Oh my gosh. I have loved meeting you so much. I feel like I learned so much from you. I really appreciate you coming here.
Thank you. Thanks for coming. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. It was so nice to meet you.
So nice to meet you too.
Thank you. Okay.
Hopefully we'll be in contact.
We will be. Okay. Bye, Molly Mormon. There is one episode left of my time in Salt Lake City, and I am so thankful and happy that you all are as interested as I am about the lives of our queer community there. I hope you are all subscribed, and I will see you next week.